we're getting lots of comments from Rangers fans, understandably. Fraser says that we're getting sick and tired of hearing it's going to take time. Rangers are saying, what is it?
But that's the problem. If you keep changing managers, then it's going to take more time. Rangers fans are going to have to stick with a manager. Going to have to stick with one and give him the chance to fix it. Because if you only have a short time and then fall behind Celtic and the grumbling starts again and then he's replaced, then you're back to square one. Give that a chance.
This comment says Russell Martin now looks like Pep. I don't know about that. But they've signed 9 players, I think it is, so far, Rangers, Keith. And they don't look particularly different from last season.
No, they don't, which will obviously be a concern for Derek McInnes. It's the same old failings, it's the same old mistakes. I just personally think there's too many of these players that have been around, kind of stunk the place out for a season or two, haven't ever looked as if they were going to achieve, and when the pressure has come on them, they've folded like a cheap suit. Too many of these guys. So that's why the more players that Derek McInnes can get in, the more he can get out, the better this summer. Because it's clear that changes are required. I actually thought a couple of the new guys looked okay today. Kota, I think, looked...
Kota looked good, Keith. What I really liked about him was his attitude and his industry. Now, I think you've seen from the Celtic Japanese players across the city what you get from these lads. But what was really encouraging from him was he kept demanding the ball, he kept wanting it, hug the touchline, give it to me. Now that's the hardest place to play when your team is struggling and the fans are on your case. It's right on the touchline, and he kept demanding it and he kept wanting it. Now you can argue, I think I said myself in my match stuff, that from a Rangers winger and a home game there wasn't enough end product, but you can see that it could be there. But he didn't hide. That was the key thing. He didn't hide when several other people did. Some again, guys going missing again when they shouldn't be going missing. And,
Absolutely.
So I think his attitude was good. I thought Fernandes sloppy again. Yeah. Just so sloppy, just so lethargic, just going through the motions. Rangers need a goal to get back into the game at 1-0. And the lethargy within the passing from the back, you need crisp out from the back, get into the midfield players' feet, get them on the half turn and get them moving. A lot of the sluggishness from Rangers through the middle of the pitch comes for the guys at the back not moving the ball in quick enough. He just ambles around, and then if you're going to do that, at least do your job defensively. Where is he in injury time? Still
he was up on the edge of the Hibs box doing a pirouette at one point. But against one end, I don't want to kind of come down on him like a ton of bricks, because I feel like after every game you're looking at his performance and saying that's nowhere near good enough. The problem I think Derek McInnes will know that's nowhere near good enough. Derek McInnes has built his whole career on having defenders who know first and foremost that they're there to defend.
Yeah.
And Fernandes
right the way back, Ash Taylor, Stuart Finlay, Joe Wright, Lewis Mayo,
Craig Halkett
Finlay again at Hearts, Craig Halkett. I don't know.
So I don't think that.
See how he can give much time to that.
I don't think he can. But what options has he got right now? I mean, you saw that back four. Dragicevic playing it right back. I mean, it kind of shows you he's having to try and piece this together. It's like spinning plates.
Although the flip side of that, I suppose, would be if you're going to bring in a right back and Ross McCrory, then you really should be playing. You would have thought, unless there was some sort of injury issue there, you wonder what the story is there. But he came on in the second half, so he's obviously available. So that seemed like a strange one to me, but. We haven't heard what Derek McInnes has got to say after the game yet, so we might find out the reasoning for it. I haven't been down the stairs yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So, Sonny, we mentioned Yusuf Chermiti, his injury. I just wondered if you'd heard any update on that at all.
Not yet. I've not been down the stairs yet. You haven't got to have us on too early, Daniel. If you're delayed, I'll be able to tell you what's happening. But we don't know. We haven't been down the stairs to get the diagnosis yet, but. I mean, I don't know if there was TV pictures or whatever, if you guys saw it today, but the hand over his face and all that when he was coming off in the stretcher, that's not a good sign.
It didn't look great. It looked as if he might have turned his knee or opened up his knee.
Yeah.
He was trying to nick the ball back on the byline. Just seemed something as it was going down, and right away, that, as you said, the hand came up.
And there's serious implications there, Keith, as well for that, because the feeling being that Rangers might have to they've paid out a bit of money so far, and there might be a big sale required to help fund the rest of what Derek McInnes wants. Now, we know about the bid that's been knocked back for Chermiti. That would obviously be increased. That might have been one of the big guys is going to have to go. Now, if it ends up Chermiti's out, I'm jumping the gun here because by the time people watch this, it may have been, he's only going to be a fortnight. We don't know. But if he happened to be out for a long period of time, then it's another one that has to be sold. That's 2 out the team.
Yeah. Yeah, and there will be an argument now as well, Swanee, about what Galatasaray at the table, and they're opening up with a bid of £22 million. Should Chermiti have been anywhere near that team today? Is another question that will probably get asked. We were saying Celtic started with Alistair Johnson and Engels at Rugby Park earlier on today. Alistair Johnson had to come off at half time because he felt something. And these are just the sort of calculations and risks.
I think on that front, Keith, I would have absolutely no blame attached to Derek McInnes for that one. He's a football manager. If the club up above him kick a bid out, he's entitled to pick him. Same way as the Celtic management team are perfectly entitled. They can't say, they've got to pick Engels and Johnson and guys like that. You've got to. I think so anyway. But especially your first home game is in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's desperate to get that win. But do you know something, Swanee? And I don't know what you feel about this, but Chermiti, so Rangers are obviously thinking they might be able to squeeze another few quid out of Galatasaray, and that's pretty reasonable. That's the good way to do business. But for me, there must be a temptation to take, even at 22. There must be a big temptation. Let's do that deal, because Chermiti is actually like the kind of forward version of Fernandes. He's got that sort of lackadaisical bit about him. He's got loads of potential, huge. And Yusuf Chermiti, he doesn't produce, he doesn't deliver it enough. And I think if Rangers could, if he's okay, and this isn't going to be a sort of a long time on the sidelines, and Galatasaray are still able to do a deal from this summer, I think Rangers have got to bite their arm off for that money. Yeah,
I think so, Keith. And we suspect, man, you've been involved in enough transfer windows to know this is how it starts. The word gets out that that's the fee and that's not it, and then you hopefully start a bidding war if that's the plan. But I'm sure Derek McInnes has got his eye on a replacement. So you maybe want to try and get the deal done quickly, because the same thing will happen to you when you start bidding for players.
Yeah.
And the selling team will start pushing the prices up. So, whatever. I'm sure we'll find out over the coming days. Well, maybe we won't. But the reason why the money was turned down. But it's if those figures are correct, it certainly looked tasty enough. If I was the chairman, I'd have been taking it.
Yeah, and if you take that sort of money in for Chermiti now, it will help in terms of expediting the other stuff that you're trying to expedite the other stuff that you're trying to do. If you're struggling to get a deal over the line for the boy at PSV, because there's 2 or 3 other clubs that are all, that would just give you that little bit of leeway and an added financial muscle to be able to do these deals. And I think that's what I keep coming back to. Derek McInnes needs as many deals, as many new arrivals in this summer as he can get his hands on, because the whole thing needs ripped up and started again from a Rangers perspective. And I actually do believe that McInnes is the right man for the job. But, you can see the extent of the task that he's taken on.
Can I just add something as well, Keith? I think what happens in these situations as well is, I think it's quite important, this, because I've seen it happen at a few clubs before. And certainly at Rangers, Derek McInnes knows he needs to change these things over, and he's probably brought in some good players. He needs to get the team changed quickly enough that these good players don't go off the rails already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It can only take 5 or 6 games for somebody to lose their confidence. The lad that started it right back today, with the things that happened to him with the penalty decision, and then he's looked a bit spooked after that.
Mm-hmm.
If the Japanese lad starts to struggle a wee bit because the team's under pressure, and then he starts getting hounded, by the time you fix the team, those guys are already under a cloud.
Yeah.
When you bring in, I heard somebody talking last week. It was a good example of, Celtic have been in this brilliant position where they've been able to bring players in and they don't hit the ground running straight away. Nicholas Kuhn didn't for 6 months. People are like, what about Nicholas Kuhn? He's not very good. But if Celtic were second to Rangers, Nicholas Kuhn would have been getting hounded at the door. Arne Engels, 6 months before he settles in. Now he's 25 million because Celtic were a winning team and they were able to give these guys the time to settle into their roles. Rangers need that for the new guys that they've signed.
Yeah.
Or else they're going to end up ruined as well before the turnover happens. It's a tricky period, this.
You just need to look back to Oliver Antman, who came in.
Yeah.
He came in and had an absolute worldie of a debut, didn't he, in Europe for Rangers, and was never seen at that level ever again.
Yeah.
And that is, and that's what they say when it comes down to recruitment. It's the X factor that you're looking for if you're Celtic or Rangers or one of these clubs has to deal. The players have to deal with the weight of the shirt, the pressure that's on them, the environment. It's okay being a good football player, but you need to have that other part of your psyche that you can, thrive in that environment rather than wilt. And too many of the guys that Rangers have brought in, this recruitment department has brought in, they've wilted because it's been my belief for some time, the recruitment department at Rangers, if you don't know what it is that you're actually looking for, how can you find it? You can get lucky, you can stumble across one or two, but Rangers, the recruitment department, to me, has been guilty of going after players that just weren't cut out for the environment that they're asking to come